Hello, welcome to a Master League video. This week we have Master League and we're going to feature some battles from Savage Boy, my EU Emperor's faction teammate, against Tonton Bateus. These are the teams below here. Savage Boy with the Mega Blastoise Dialga core, a really strong core. Blastoise is just similar to Kyogre in performance, but they have a little bit of different coverage moves. On top of that, Water Gun, just the damage output is just a little bit faster than the Waterfalls from Kyogre. So it has that little bit of advantage. Obviously, Hydro Cannon is also a better move, and he has that paired with a Gyarados, Landorus, Florges, and Shadow Mamoswine. Tonton Bateus also has a really cool Mega Pokemon that I use myself as well, the Mega Scissor. I feel like it's a little bit lackluster, but it has a really good typing, only weak to fire, which Savage Boy doesn't even have in this case. That really does make the Mamoswine, the Florges, just scary to use though. He has also he combined it with a Lugia and Reshiram. Those three are very strong Pokemon currently. Lugia, one of the bulkiest Master League Pokemon, and Reshiram with Fusion Flare as a really strong Zero Shield scenario right now, because it can win about everything in Zero Shields with Fusion Flare. Let's take a look at how these battles go. Round 1 of Savage Boy versus Tonton Bateus. Tonton Bateus is a really good Master League player, already hit Legend as well in Master League, and these are the leads. This is generally favorable for Landorus, but Lugia actually puts up a really good fight here. I think that if Landorus lets one Sky Attack through, that Lugia can likely just farm down. Stone Edge does just a little bit under 50%, but with the Mud Shots, it will take out the Lugia. Savage Boy instead decides to catch on the Gyarados, probably trying to bait something out, or just doesn't want to take it on the Landorus, and he baits out the Gyarados, which is kind of good for his Blastoise, because Blastoise is not too great against Gyarados. Obviously, the stats are much lower from Gyarados, so it's still an okay matchup. He gets the defense drop, which could be big, because at this point, you might be able to just Water Gun this Gyarados down and come out with a lot of energy. Mega Blastoise, the hardest answer to it on Tonton Bateus' team is probably that Gyarados. So with that gone, Blastoise looks really good right now. Crunch does a moderate amount of damage. Mega Blastoise can take it. Man, I think that animation of Mega Blastoise is so lame. It's a really cool Pokemon though. In comes Lugia. Now, one interesting thing about Lugia is that if it has the best body, I believe you reach a bulk point against Water Guns from Mega Blastoise, which is pretty sick. It makes it a little bit better, but it takes that Ice Beam still. Lugia's pretty much useless at this point. Actually crazy, it actually took that Ice Beam at that point, and Savage Boy going for that superpower here. Probably trying to CMP. Landorus wins CMP against so many things. I wouldn't be surprised if it wins CMP here as well, and it does win CMP. Now, as Tonton Bateus, you probably cannot shield this because it does less than a Hydro. This superpower already is debuffed. It actually does really, even for a debuff superpower, it does very little damage. And Tonton Bateus is very smart here, undercharges that. Landorus is just a farm at this point, and now Mega Blastoise, which already had some energy, needs to get the 2 moves, but Scissor gets to those nice slashes in 5 bullet punches only, so it gets there really quickly. In fact, it already has 2 moves, and this might not take out Blastoise, but it will get really close. Yeah, it doesn't take out just yet, but it doesn't matter. It even gets the boost. Yeah, just very well played by Tonton Bateus, and Lugia is just very difficult to deal with. On top of that, there was not a lot of bulk on Savage Boy's team there. You see how he adapts in game number 2 against Tonton Bateus. He does have that Dialga. It just pairs so well with the Blastoise, and we actually do see it here. This is a fine matchup for Dialga. It's not the worst for Lugia, actually, just because of the bulk, but Savage Boy is running Thunder here, which really helps against that, because you don't have to debuff yourself. Thunder is super effective, does a decent amount of damage here. It definitely doesn't, it probably does like 40%, I think. Yeah, it doesn't do as much. Tonton Bateus is at the Arrow Blast here. That won't take out yet because resisted, but it will do a lot of damage still. It is only a Sky Attack though. And that means he will get to another one, which I think Savage Boy is pretty fine with. Wonder what we're expecting in the back here. At this point, a Gyarados could be a little bit difficult, but he has a good Mega Scissor answer. because bullet punches are resisted on the water typing of Mega Blastoise. So, but one thing that Mega Blastoise does struggle with is the pacing of the Scissor. It takes a little bit longer for Mega Blastoise to get through charge moves, and Scissor is just so fast. So those bullet punches and the Night Slash, they're just gonna add up so quickly. And Tontonbot throws Night Slashes immediately as well, just in case he gets a boost, which is a really smart play as well. CMPing with this Scissor once more. You will survive the Night Slash here and probably get to another Hydro if you shield, but this actually gets incredibly close, which is pretty crazy. And after that CP, that actually took it out. That actually let it go. Tonton actually lets it go. And in the back is the Reshiram. Tonton tries to catch here unsuccessfully. I think that's what he needed to win the battle because Gyarados just outpaces, has super effective Dragon Breath on this Reshiram, and that means Gyarados will barely win this matchup here. It's actually closer than it should be, but Gyarados just really lacks stats at sometimes. So good game by Savage Boy, good game by Tonton. This time bringing his 3 biggest Pokemon. We haven't seen any Extra yet, and that might encourage Savage Boy to bring the Dialga once more. Let's take a look here. Because even Dragon Breath Gyarados still wins 2 shields against Extra because Extra is so fragile. It just, it's just not great sometimes. It's great against like Reshiram, Zekrom, Dialga, all good, but like Dragon Breath plus an Aqua Tail from Gyarados just does so freaking much. Like the super effective Rock Slides just don't add up enough for that. Savage Boy actually going for a Savage Bait here. This definitely does not need to be shielded, but it does get shielded because a Thunder would do a lot here, which Savage Boy already showed. And because he showed Thunder, it gives him very little reason to bait. And I think that's what Tonton also thought here. Tonton gets to another Night Slash here. This will take out the Dialga. But I'm pretty sure that Scissor wins 2 shields here regardless. But yeah, you don't win the 1 shots here. Dialga is gonna go for this Thunder here that does take it out. And in the back is that Lugia. Savage Boy swapping into the Gyarados right away. Probably trying to bait out Tonton's own Gyarados, which he does successfully. That's great for Savage Boy. I'm also not really sure why. maybe Tonton's expecting the... I don't know what he's expecting in the back. Because Savage Boy's been bringing the same Pokemon over and over. There was not a lot of reason to swap there, to be honest. Like, because even when those moves are not super effective, like even with super effective Crunch, it's still a fine matchup for Lugia. Savage Boy barely undercharging that. I think that Tonton taps a little bit slower after that, so his Lugia gets a little bit of farm. And he has so much energy on that Lugia though. And actually catches a move. If this is the Aeroblast, it's huge. It is only a Sky Attack though. And again, Tonton undercharging to get a Dragon Tail more. Then not even building to the Ice Beam. Probably thinking he needs 3 Ice Beams, 3 Hydros at this point. But the first Hydro gets shielded. I think Water Guns plus Ice Beam might do the job here. Let's see what Savage Boy does here. If he shields this move, he does shield this move. Is it the Aeroblast? It's only a Sky Attack once more. Does this thing... Have you even seen Aeroblast from this? I think at this range, the Ice Beam might take out this Lugia. And if not, a couple Water Guns only will do it. Actually, one more Water Gun takes out the Lugia. Very well played by Savage Boy there. A 2-1 victory. Absolute cracked win. Not using any Mamoswine this time. One of Savage Boy's favorite Pokemon. But Mega Blastoise really pulling through and showing that it can replace Kyogre just perfectly like that. So thank you, Savage Boy, for featuring these battles. And very well played by both of these Moss League specialists. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.